Hello, I wanted to thank everyone for coming out this afternoon. My name is Cheryl Davis. I am the director of Mo Magic, a collaborative in the Western Addition, and I'm so happy to be a part of this press conference today to be able to launch and share the information about the Beta Breakers. We have a great lineup for you today, but we're on a tight schedule, so I'll get on with it. And I am happy to have the pleasure to introduce to you our wonderful mayor, Mayor Ed Lee.
Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you for everything that you do with Mo Magic at the Ella Hill Hutch, all the kids there. Everybody, welcome to City Hall. This is Beta Breakers Weekend. And I know this iconic race is celebrating its 103-year history. It's such a great tradition. And I was just talking with Casey just a few minutes ago. I wonder how that race went 100 years ago. It would have been amazing, but it can't be as fun as it is today. And we want to thank the Wasserman Media Group for putting the fun and safety back into this race. They've really began in such a short time to prepare, but they've had the advantage of working with some wonderful city departments. I want to thank all of our city departments, from police and fire to MTA, DPW, to Department of Emergency Services, to our Recreation and Park Department, for a wonderful collaboration with the Wasserman Media Group to really reorient and reignite this wonderful race. And it's going to be a race that really is suggestive of what San Francisco is about. It's the race for everybody, from athletic elitist runners to families and people that want to just have fun on our streets. And I know that our supervisors, in particular, Supervisor Tang and Supervisor London Breed, who really have a great part of that jurisdiction of this race coming through them, that they're going to be really happy to see all of the effort that's reflected in making this race safe and successful. But I also want to say thank you to the Wasserman Group again, because they've actually really wanted this race to be reflective of San Francisco values and tradition. So they picked up a couple of great organizations to work with. And it begins with organizations like Mo Magic, also with the San Francisco Boys and Girls Club, with the Laborers Union that they're also making as partners this year, with SF Skate Club, and then a very valuable relationship with Tipping Point Community this year. In fact, Tipping Point Community is going to be receiving a portion of the registration fees that everybody registers on this race with, and going to turn around and, of course, utilize that money as all the other agencies do in helping out our communities and making sure that those in poverty can actually also have some renewed resources to assist. This is a wonderful connection that Wasserman Group's put together, and I am proud that this city is sponsoring it again. I know other races across the country are reigniting that kind of community connection, and it's really worth it. It's worth all of the effort putting in, and I know that this race will continue building more and more. We're going to get to probably the 90 to 100,000 people racing very shortly. This year, we already have 40,000. We believe we're going to close to 40,000 registrants that we're excited about, and we're going to see this race in the San Francisco style. People will be racing at the front to try to win one of the very many different prizes that are happening, but also they're going to be people reflective of the kookiness of San Francisco, the flavor of our neighborhoods. People just want to have fun racing all the way, or walking, or running, or jogging all the way to the waterfront. But I want to thank the Wasserman Group again for putting this together and being a lead, and also touching all of us with their values, with San Francisco values, and the character of this race. I can't say more about that, because the more and more people associate with community-based organizations and connect up great events with that, the more I think they reflect what the city is all about. So I say thank you very much to all of our sponsors and all the agencies that have worked very hard to make sure this race is safe, that it is secure and fun for everyone. And you're going to see a lot of this reflected. And I know Supervisor Breed and Supervisor Tang are very interested in those aspects of it as the race comes through. We've experienced years where it wasn't as safe as it could be. We're going to see all of that, I think, reignited, and then you're going to have a lot more people join in this race. So thank you very much, Wasserman Media Group, for sponsorship on that. And I know our Scoot Gate's going to be very happy to see all the kids involved in this race as well. Thank you.
So we want to thank Mayor Lee and his staff and the supervisors for their working together and really helping to make this with the Wasserman Media Group a community effort and having the community evolve. And I want to now present Supervisor London Breed, who's really led the way in bringing community and the Beta Breakers together.
Thank you all for being here today. My name is Supervisor London Breed, and I'm here to talk to you about Beta Breakers. I want to start by recognizing Jari Bolender, who is here from the D5 Neighborhood Association Group. He, along with Connor Johnston, an aide in my office, both years ago led the way to work with the previous owners of Beta Breakers to make sure that it didn't have the negative impacts on the community that it had in the past. And I appreciate the work that they do, that they continue to do to keep our neighborhoods safe. Public safety is one of my biggest priorities. I want to make sure that we're having a good time because Beta Breakers clearly is uniquely San Francisco. But more importantly, I want everyone out there to be responsible. If you see bags, report those bags. The chief will tell you more about some of the public safety measures that we're going to be implementing. But look out for one another. People get a little bit over the top with the drinking. We want to take that down. We don't want any incidents. We don't want anything to occur. So we want to make sure we keep the rooftop parties down. We keep all of the other events that create some of the challenges we experience as a city that give Beta Breakers its negative spin. Beta Breakers is one of the most fun, exciting races anywhere around. Nowhere in this country do you experience something like Beta Breakers. It's incredible, it's exciting, it's fun, it's innovative. Yes, there are people without clothes, and if we have a day like this, there'll be even more, but that's what makes San Francisco so incredible. So all the good-looking folks with the nice six-packs come out naked. Just kidding. I know that's not popular for a supervisor to say, but the point is, we want you to come. We want you to have fun. We want you to enjoy Beta Breakers. We want you to just have an incredible time. But we also want you to be safe. We want you to respect the neighborhood. We want you to use the over 1,000 porta potties we have lining up the streets. We want you to respect San Francisco. What it all boils down to is we're a great city, we're a beautiful city, we're an incredible city with unique events like Beta Breakers, and we want everyone to have a good time, but more importantly, we want to make sure that everyone, every single individual, whether you're a participant, whether you're visiting the city, whether you live in the neighborhood, we want you to be safe. That is our message. And I want to say, because Casey Wasserman and the Wasserman Group, this is their first year owning Beta Breakers. They have stepped in and immediately become a great community partner. I appreciate them listening to the community. I appreciate them willing to put out more porta potties and to do what's necessary in order to take care of the neighborhood. And I appreciate them listening to members of the community to make this a family-friendly event. So everybody enjoy Beta Breakers. Let's have a good time and let's keep it safe.
So keeping with that theme, we definitely want it to be fun and family-friendly, and we want it to be safe, and we're going to ask Chief Sir to come up at this point.
So I'm always in lockstep, usually with Supervisor Breed, but I'm going to ask for people to keep their clothes on. Nudity's not okay. We're not naive that might not happen, but deferring to those that might not have six-packs. There are going to be kids and families, and so costumes are really good. Bathing suits and so whatever. Anyway, I'm the rules guy, so I don't mean to be the wet blanket here, but we did have the unfortunate event at the Boston Marathon just over a year ago. Boston has now had their next marathon. It went on without event. Without incident. We expect the same thing here. So all the security that was in place last year and a little bit more will be in place again this year. no alcohol. There will be 4 pinch points along the route to ensure that there's no alcohol. Please observe this. Again, there's going to be families around. The bag policy. You can have a bag. I showed one last year, but they're basically about the size of a sheet of paper plus 4 inches wide. So just something small to carry water, maybe just small things, but certainly no urban survivalist backpacks, please. No wheeled objects, which would include and not limited to floats, baby strollers, joggers, skateboards, and bibs are required. This is a registered race. Wasserman Group has done a great job making it available. Please register to help support the event so that we can keep doing it year after year. Wasserman Group has also added 20% more private security to this race, in addition to what's already a large complement that was beefed up last year. I have to thank the San Jose Police Department, the San Mateo Sheriff's Office, Napa Sheriff's Office, Walnut Creek Police Department, West Sacramento Police Department, the Federal Reserve Police Department, and actually the Coast Guard for lending ordnance support in case somebody sees something and says something, which is exactly what we need you to do. There's going to be literally tens of thousands of people. If you see something out of the ordinary, a bag unattended, please say something. We have plenty of resources to get to that so that this race moves. Again, 20% more security. Keep your clothes on. Sorry, Supervisor. And it's going to be a blast. This weather's just off the hook. It's perfect. So let's just have a great time and be respectful of the neighborhoods. Again, community, family event, San Francisco signature. Have fun.
And along those same lines around public safety and emergency operations, we're grateful to have Chief Joanne Hayes-White here, and we're going to invite her up at this time.
Good morning, everyone. Under Mayor Lee's direction, all of us are working very collaboratively to make sure that this is an excellent event on Sunday. We're all looking forward to it. I echo what Chief Sir says. We want it to be fun, but we also want it to be safe, and I want to assure everyone that's participating that you're going to be safe, and that for those that are not participating, we want to keep it pretty much in terms of where the race course is with minimal disruption to the rest of the part of the city that may not be participating. We're working very closely with our partners in Department of Emergency Management. We will be activating the Emergency Operations Center just so that we're prepared in case we anticipate some surge capacity that day. I think the biggest message from our perspective is we will be there to help those in need. The weather should cool down a little bit, but it is a 7-mile course. Some people think it's fun, but it's a long way. And so my strong advice is to hydrate appropriately with the right types of fluids, maybe less beer, but definitely more fluids to help you recharge your batteries. So it will be a great Sunday. We look forward to working with all the partners behind us, and have a good day. Have a good race day.
I really can't stress enough how much this was a collaborative effort and how much we appreciate the mayor and the supervisors working together and involving community. And with that, I would like to ask Supervisor Katie Tang to come up.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Again, I would actually just like to start off by saying you are very brave to the Wasserman Media Group for taking on the Beta Breakers. As a representative of the Sunset District, where we actually bear the brunt of a lot of races, not just the Beta Breakers, but there's Nike marathons, hot chocolate runs. They seem to add another one every year. A lot of our neighborhood have expressed concerns over the years, but I was really pleased to see that the Wasserman Media Group, they actually came out to our neighborhood very early on to listen to what they had to say in terms of the race. I know that especially this year, as they are working to really enhance the activities that are happening at the finish line, they have heard from our local small businesses, and they have agreed to really figure out a way to better support our local small businesses so that we could best showcase what we have to offer in our district. So I really appreciate that. And actually, I would like to just introduce a couple of folks briefly and just have you wave your hand so that folks know who you are. First of all, CEO Casey Wasserman, hiding back there. The Senior Vice President of Business Development, Larry Combe. Yes. The Director of Marketing, Chris Holmes. Okay. And of course, really like to acknowledge the race team, Premier Event Management. So thanks to all of you. I really look forward to what's going to be happening and some of the things that you have adjusted and made changes to, including the start time to the race. And lastly, I will just say that if you are planning to come unclothed, don't forget to wear your sunscreen.
Next up, fully clothed, we have Casey Wasserman, the chairman and CEO of the Wasserman Media Group, that we are so grateful that he has really worked with the community and with the city to make sure that this process involves all the voices. So thank you, Casey.
Thank you. I am very excited to stand here before you as the steward of the Beta Breakers race. We like to think of this as San Francisco's race, and none of this would have been possible without the support of the people behind us. Specifically, Mayor Lee and your entire administration has been remarkable. Supervisors Breed and Tang, Chief Sir and Chief White, I can't thank you enough for all your support in our first year of owning and operating the race. When we took this race over, we knew that we were not only joining one of the most historic and long-tenured races in America, but also one of the most fun and colorful races in this country, and that's a tradition we're excited to continue. This year we've worked tirelessly to enrich the event, to make sure it's safe and accessible for everybody participating, and we have reached out specifically to the neighborhood organizations, the charitable organizations, for feedback, and hopefully everybody on Sunday will see the effects of our work to make this the best Beta Breakers the city has had. We want Sunday to be safe and enjoyable for everyone, and we're excited, while maintaining the history of this race, to bring a new perspective and a new outlook for the many years to come. Obviously, a big focal point for us this year is being able to give back to the city and the community that is San Francisco, and our partnership with Tipping Point and other various local organizations has helped do that. We think that this race, as a part of the community, has that obligation to give back, and we couldn't think of a better partner in Tipping Point to help us facilitate those efforts, and hopefully for many years to come as the race continues to succeed. I want to thank the city and the county of San Francisco for all their support, and I couldn't be more excited to be here on Sunday and see hopefully tens of thousands of participants racing and having a fun, safe, and enjoyable Beta Breakers. Thank you.
So again, we want to thank you all for coming out, and we want to pay tribute and thank you again to Mayor Lee, Supervisor Breed, Supervisor Tang, Chief Sir, Chief Hayes White, the Wasserman Media Group, and also Rec and Park. I see Phil Ginsberg here. We really want to make sure that this year is about the community and the races, the racers, and we appreciate you all, and we know that you're going to help spread the word about family-friendly and safety. And if you have any other questions, you can follow up with Claire is there. We'll follow up individually, and thank you again for coming out.